Welcome back, everyone. She endured the unthinkable for more than 2 years, captured by a terror group in Iraq, tortured and wrongly accused of being a spy. But Elizabeth Tsurkov, a Princeton graduate student, refused to give up hope, knowing deep down, halfway around the world, her sister was fighting for her freedom. R.J. O'Brien sat down with Elizabeth's sister in 2024, a segment that Elizabeth watched. And now he's sitting down with Elizabeth in her first network television interview to talk about her battle to survive.
Elizabeth, oh my gosh, it is so good to see you.
When Elizabeth Tsurkov hugs you, she doesn't let go.
I'm so happy to see you.
Her way, she says, of cherishing life and the people around her after more than 900 days held hostage and tortured by a terrorist group in Iraq.
It was basically just mental and physical agony throughout the whole period.
These were some of the first moments after the Princeton doctoral student was released in September.
Have you seen this?
Yeah.
In her first network television interview since she was freed, we showed that video to Elizabeth.
You're going home, you're gonna see your family.
Another embrace where she holds on tight.
I'm tilting down to look at his lapel to see what was on it, and I saw the flag of the United States.
I'm from the United States.
And I felt such a huge just rush of joy and relief. Like I'm safe. I'm safe, finally.
That moment, seemingly a lifetime away from this. Elizabeth's seen here in a proof of life video that aired on a TV station in Iraq. It was recorded, Elizabeth says, by her captors in the group Kataib Hezbollah, an Iranian-backed militia in Iraq that at the same time it was holding Elizabeth was responsible for repeated attacks on U.S. soldiers. One attack in January 2024 killing 3 service members at a remote base in Jordan. Less than 1 year before that, Kataib Hezbollah was following Elizabeth, she says, setting up a fake meeting with someone posing as an activist who wanted to be interviewed to lure the PhD student conducting research in Iraq onto the streets of Baghdad in March 2023.
So they set you up to be taken?
Yes, they set me up to be taken. 1 man or 2 men grabbed me into the car. And I started screaming for help. I screamed in English, help, help. And no help came, so I kept screaming and resisting, and they kept beating me very ferociously to make me shut up. This is also when they sexually assaulted me.
They were assaulting you, and you were screaming through it.
Yeah, yeah.
The kidnappers became convinced this dual Russian and Israeli citizen and student at an American university was something else.
Their assumption about all foreigners is that they're spies. So if you're an engineer, if you're an English teacher, if you're a tourist, you're a spy.
In captivity, Elizabeth says she was tortured for more than 4 months, beaten, electrocuted, and strung up by her wrists in a way that permanently injured her spine, forcing her to sit like this for our interview. Her captors were demanding information about a supposed spy network Elizabeth didn't have.
I spent most of my time in the cell between the torture sessions, making up confessions that would sound believable to them, so that would reduce the time I would spend actively being tortured.
You invented things to make the torture stop.
Exactly. Because they refuse to accept the truth. When you go through such an experience, it's like there's a version of you before and of you after.
You're never
it's
the
like,
same.
Yeah, you're never the same. It's like a lightning struck you, and now there's like a new version of you that there's really, there's something terrifying about just witnessing this evil.
Elizabeth, now 39, spent 2 birthdays in captivity.
Free her now.
Thousands of miles away, Emma Tsurkov was working around the clock to free her older sister, leaning on the Iraqi government to help secure Elizabeth's release, speaking to us in 2024.
I know in my gut that she is alive. and I know that she is trusting me to get her out of there.
Emma pressed the Iraqi government to step in because the terrorist group holding her sister, Kataib Hezbollah, technically has an official role as part of the Iraqi military establishment. A connection ABC News first reported on 2 years ago, and one Elizabeth says she saw firsthand.
Do you blame the Iraqi government for what happened to you?
Of course I blame the Iraqi government. They paid the salaries of these bastards. I was the people who kidnapped me and tortured me. Two of them came occasionally in uniform of the Iraqi state. I was once...
They came in Iraqi military uniforms?
Yes, Iraqi military uniform.
And beat you and tortured you?
Yes, yes. Because this was, they would come, their day job is this militia, and after work hours, they would come and they would torture me.
ABC News sent the Iraqi government a detailed list of questions about what Elizabeth said in her interview, and they have not responded. When she was released, Iraq's prime minister posted Elizabeth's freedom was the culmination of extensive efforts of his government, adding, "We will not tolerate any compromise in enforcing the law and upholding the authority of the state." But Elizabeth believes it wasn't the Iraqis who helped free her, but an ultimatum from President Trump, who broke the news Elizabeth was coming home in a social media post.
I read you said that if it were not for President Trump, you think you would have died in captivity.
Yes, I believe this. And I'm a liberal, and this is the reality.
What kept you going?
Yeah. I think, I knew that my family is out there fighting for me.
Reunited with her family, Elizabeth is now continuing her PhD work at Princeton and choosing to tell her story now for the countless Iraqis she says were taken and tortured in the same way.
I'm just the most visible victim of the groups that have been abusing them for many years.
Her resilience shining through. Home, safe, but never the same.
I know that I'm safe, but the memories
Can
I'm
flood
afraid
back to you in an instant.
Yeah, and I'm afraid they will always remain with me. This is now part of who I am.
Such a harrowing experience. Our thanks to Jael Bryan for that.